Okay. So as I said earlier, I'll explain few applications of Cauchy sequences. So let's come to that. Applications of Cauchy sequences. The first application is very easy and simple, but it's very useful. If UN and VN are Cauchy sequences, then their sum and the product are also Cauchy sequences. If UN and VN are Cauchy sequences, then their sum means UN plus VN and their product means UN VN are Cauchy sequences. Since UN and VN are Cauchy sequences, therefore for any epsilon greater than 0, there exist natural numbers n1, n2 such that modulus um minus vn is less than epsilon by 2 for all mn greater than n1 and vm minus vn less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than n2. You know what is the meaning of choosing two natural numbers, and you know after that how to proceed. Let us consider n as mean, not max, of n1 and n2. Then for mn greater than n, um plus vm, I have to check this modulus, um plus vm minus un plus vn. Consider this modulus, then separate them, um minus un plus vm minus vn. Use triangle inequality, lesser equal to um minus un plus vm minus vn. This is less than epsilon by 2, this is less than epsilon by 2. So altogether it is epsilon. That means this difference is less than epsilon for mn greater than n. So the next thing is very easy. Now this is a Cauchy sequence. This is a Cauchy sequence. Now the next thing is, consider this umvm minus umvn, which can be written in this way. Just I am adjusting um into vm minus vn plus vn into um minus un. You can easily express. Look, if you expand this umvm minus umvn plus umvn, those will cancel, minus unvn. Okay. So again apply triangle inequality. This is lesser equal to this plus this equal to modulus of this into this plus modulus of this into this. Since un and vn are Cauchy sequences, therefore they are convergent. We know a Cauchy sequence of real number is convergent, hence bounded. So we can consider this is less than k1, this is less than k2. So this is less than epsilon by 2k1, this is less than epsilon by 2k2 for mn greater than n. So epsilon by 2k1 plus epsilon by 2k2 obviously less than a positive quantity epsilon. So we got this modulus is less than epsilon for mn greater than a particular natural number n. This modulus less than epsilon for mn greater than a particular natural number n. Therefore, un vn is a Cauchy sequence. Un vn is a Cauchy sequence. Now next example is this. Few examples of Cauchy sequences. Show that the following sequences are Cauchy. un equal to n by n plus 1, un equal to 1 plus 1 by 1 factorial, 1 by 2 factorial, dot 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 1 by n factorial. We have to show these following sequences are Cauchy. Given that first let us come to the first one. Un equal to n by n plus 1. Then um minus un will be this, m by n plus 1 minus n by n plus 1. Take the LCM, m plus 1 into n plus 1. It will be m into n plus 1 minus n into n plus 1. Multiply mn plus m minus mn minus n. Mn cancel. It will be m minus n by m plus 1 into n plus 1. As we know that m plus 1 is bigger than, look, mn is obviously smaller than m plus 1 into n plus 1. Why? Because if you expand this, you will get mn here plus some positive quantity. So mn obviously less than this. So if you take the reciprocal, it will be greater than this. It will be greater than this. And if you change the side now, it will be less than this 1 by m plus 1 less than this. So we can say that this quantity is less than this 1 by mn. So 1 by m plus 1 into 1 by n plus 1 is less than 1 by mn. Now you can say why m minus n is less than m. For that you choose m greater than n. You can choose m greater than n. If m greater than n, then m minus n is less than m. M minus n is less than m, obviously. So modulus this is less than m by mn. M by mn means you can cancel mm and you'll get 1 by n, and that is less than epsilon. Then same thing. So therefore this is less than epsilon if this is less than epsilon, as we got, and that is if n is greater than 1 by epsilon. As we know, epsilon is positive, but we need a natural number. So 1 by epsilon may not be a natural number. So to get a natural number, choose the greatest integer part, that is the box part. Then our purpose will be solved. So therefore, um minus un its modulus is less than epsilon for m greater than n greater than capital N. So third purpose solved, and therefore it is a Cauchy sequence. So next is un equal to the factorial one. Again choose the difference um minus un. Will end till m factorial, un will end till n factorial. For m greater than n, m ধরে নাও m টা n এর থেকে বড়, let's say m greater than n. If m greater than n, then till n will cancel from this term. Since m is greater than n, so till m will cancel from this term. So it will start from n plus 1, n plus 2 till m factorial. Now we all know n plus 1 is less than n plus 2. Its factorial is less than n plus 2 factorial. So 1 by n plus 2, 1 factorial is less than 1 by n, greater than 1 by n plus 2 factorial, and that is greater than 1 by m factorial. So therefore their modulus is less than, how many terms are over here? M minus n by m factorial. And as we know, if m greater than n, দেখো m টা 10 এর থেকে বড়, তাহলে m minus n will be less than m. So m by m factorial, is 1 by m minus 1 factorial. And if you get 1 by m minus 1 factorial, you can easily make that as less than a positive quantity epsilon. So therefore this is a Cauchy sequence. This factorial is a Cauchy sequence. Now next is this example. This example is very vast. This example states that if xn is a bounded sequence and E is the set of all its subsequential limits. You know what is the meaning of subsequential limit? The meaning of subsequential limit means if xn have 10 subsequence, let's say, I'm not saying it will have 10 subsequence. If xn will have 10 subsequence, then all the limit of those subsequence will be the subsequential limits. ধরো xn এর 10টা সাবসিকুয়েন্স আছে, তো 10টা সাবসিকুয়েন্স কোথাও না কোথাও তো কনভার্জ করবে, তো যেখানে কনভার্জ করবে সেই কনভার্জিং লিমিট নিয়ে যে সেটটা তৈরি হবে সেটা হচ্ছে ই। সাপোজ xn has 10 subsequence, so all the subsequence must converge to somewhere. So those converging limit, if you consider them as a set format, that will be the e. So this example states that if xn is a bounded sequence and e is the set of all the subsequential limits, then E is bounded and E contains its supremum and infimum. This set E of all subsequential limit is bounded and it contains supremum and infimum of the set. Because we know supremum of a set and infimum of a set may not belong to the set, but here it will belong to the set. We'll prove this in two following cases. Case 1. Suppose xn converges to a real number L. I said in the example that xn is a bounded sequence. I haven't considered this is a convergent sequence. So suppose xn is convergent. Convergent to where? L. Suppose xn is convergent and convergent to where? L. So if xn is convergent, its all possible subsequences are convergent. Obviously, we know that if a sequence is convergent, its all possible subsequences are convergent and converging to the same limit. So if xn converges to L, then its all possible subsequence converges to L only. So E consists of only L. যদি xn সিকোয়েন্সটা L এ কনভার্জ করে, তাহলে ওর সমস্ত সাবসিকোয়েন্স L এই কনভার্জ করবে। তার মানে কি E এর মধ্যে একটি এলিমেন্ট আছে L, then means E contains only L. So look, if E contains a single element, then E must be bounded. And if a set contains only a single element, its supremum, infimum all are L and belongs to E. Obvious. Suppose case 2. Suppose xn diverges. If xn diverges, but we did Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. আমরা কিন্তু Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem করেছিলাম। সেটা কি বলে? সেটা বলে every bounded sequence has a convergent subsequence. Every bounded sequence has a convergent subsequence. That means even though the sequence diverges, but since it is bounded, it will have at least one convergent subsequence. So that means E is non-empty. Why? Because if we have at least one convergent subsequence, that means E must contain at least one element. E এর মধ্যে তো subsequence এর limit point গুলোই আছে. So if at least one subsequence is convergent, so E must be non-empty. Let S be the range set of xn. Range set of xn means S be the range set of xn means range set means where the range set means what? Suppose, let me explain. Suppose this is xn. Xn is not finite. Xn is not finite. Suppose here this many infinite number points are there. So this goes here, this goes here, this many to one is possible, one too many is not possible. This goes here, and let's say this goes here, and dot dot dot. So these points are S. These points are S. This is the range set. This is the range set. This is the range set. So let S be the range set of Xn. Then S is bounded. Since the sequence is bounded. Since the sequence is bounded, its range set is also bounded. Now, bounded does not mean it is finite. Bounded means it can be infinite. So suppose S is finite. That is X. Let's say X contains this many elements. X1, X2, Xk. Then, if S is bounded, then the subsequences, the limits of the subsequences set E is also bounded. Because, look, S is finite, so the set which contains the limits of the subsequences will also be bounded, and since finite bounded, and each contains the infimum and supremum. But since, as I told you, for a finite set, infimum means minimum, supremum means maximum. So it is done. Next is, suppose S is infinite. Suppose S is infinite. এবার set theory Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem চলে যাব. By Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem on point set theory, every bounded infinite set has a limit point. So this set also has a limit point, say alpha A1. Limit point means what? Limit point means at least one subsequence will get which converges to A1. So again, same thing, that set E will become bounded, supremum infimum will belong to the set. Because of this reason. Because there exists a subsequence which converges to the at limit point A1 by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. So whether S is finite or infinite, finite though done by the finiteness, if it is infinite, then by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem we can conclude our result. The last example, let Xn be a Cauchy sequence in R and Yn is a sequence in R. Suppose Xn is Cauchy sequence and Yn is just a sequence, and their difference modulus is less than 1 by n. You have to prove that Yn is also a Cauchy sequence and their limits are same. So since Xn is a Cauchy sequence, this condition will hold. Since Xn is a Cauchy sequence, this condition will hold. Modulus Xn minus Xn is, since Xn is a Cauchy sequence, this relation will hold. This less than epsilon for m greater than n, m comma n greater than natural number n. Let's say consider mn greater or equal to 1. Then ym minus yn can be written in this way, ym minus xm plus xm minus xn plus this. Apply triangle inequality, this is less than 1 by n by the hypothesis, by the question. This is less than 1 by n by the question. Since m greater than n, 1 by m is less than 1 by n. So this is less than 1 by n plus epsilon plus 1 by n. So epsilon by plus 2 by n. As n tends to infinity, this is tends to epsilon. So this is less than epsilon, means this is a Cauchy sequence. Now suppose limit xn is L, that means this by the convergence criteria. Now yn minus L can be written in this way. Again apply triangle inequality, this is 1 by n by the quotient plus epsilon tends to epsilon as n tends to infinity. Therefore, this limit yn is also L. So this finish all the applications of Cauchy sequence as much as I can. Now there are so many, I'll do in next class, maybe after 1 day or 2 days. Saturday you will get one more video regarding Cauchy sequence. Then I'll proceed to series. Thank you.